Alright, what are we doing?
Tearing tape off because we have to reseal everything. And the last guy had this on.
Right, so the last guy who owned it had taped over the top of the windows here. I think he thinks that that's where he was getting some leaks in. So we're going to tear all that off and just spray Flex Seal around the windows and cover up all the poor caulking job that was done and everything else. Just try to seal it up for the winter while we're in it. And then maybe next year do a better job, but for now this is going to work. Tater's in there, hoping he doesn't crawl out the window on us. That's one.
The fact that I did that with my hand and you had a little tool.
Hey.
Call that a win. Did you want to finish this one?
No, you got it.
Window being open.
You got it.
You think this is where it's going to be?
I don't know. Oh, I can't see that one, but there's a lot of extra layers of caulk, and since we're up here on the roof, you guys can see so you got 3 solar panels there, one on the far side. We just kind of tossed them up here for the time being, but I think we're gonna have to caulk all the way around this whole unit here, as it's pretty poorly done, and see where that ends up getting us. All right, so now we're gonna wash all these cracks and surfaces with bleach and water, get all the grime out, let it dry, and then we'll spray the Flex Seal down in there, and hopefully that helps seal it up. So I'm just gonna be making an adapter real quick for our fill on the for our fresh water. Pretty simple. I'm just gonna glue all these fittings together really quick, and then we'll go get water and stuff to start filling. Basically, I just bought a bunch of stuff that fits together, and they're all adapters to the next larger size, so that we could at the end flare out to something more sizable like this cup here. Honestly, it was probably a waste of time, but I'm gonna go with it for now. Basically, you just want to hit the inside and outside of each piece with this primer real quick to clean it up. And then you've got your glue, which I should have opened before because it's gonna be stuck. It wasn't that bad. Alright, so I'm gonna glue inside of this piece here. And basically shove the two together. Probably want to do at least a quarter turn to overlap that, and then put the next piece in here. Same thing, a little bit of primer to clean everything off. And then glue inside of this one. And there we go. Press it in. A little bit of a turn. Oh shit. That's kind of wild. Probably shouldn't have done this on this board. I did not realize that this stuff would eat the foam away. Alright. Last one. And then we're going to want to let this dry for a while before we actually use this to fill up our drinking water. Like, you don't want to be pouring through all this primer and fresh glue right into our water, but that should do it there. that's everything together. Kind of sloppy job because I was just throwing something together. I didn't really care, but this should at least work as a funnel for us and help us out. Look at this right here. Anywhere I drip that primer on the foam board, it's like eating through it. It's having some sort of like a reaction or something. The fill adapter that we made hopefully kind of works. Of course this has to be like above my head. Oh, this is going to be a blast. Alright, so right now we're installing some new batteries in here. We got these batteries with the solar system we purchased for the bus, and since it's not in the bus yet, we're going to just set everything up in here. These batteries are actually off of like a, I think a medical cart.
Yeah.
Oops.
A hospital cart.
Yeah, a hospital cart. And they basically are 40 amp hour each. So in this metal cubby back here, that's where the battery normally sits, and that's there's an access panel to get to that from the outside of the camper. So there's actually 2 of these green 40 amp batteries in there, and then I ran jumper wires out to here, and we've got 3 in here. So we're running 5 40 amp hour batteries total. They're all going to be connected in series, so positive to positive, negative to negative, and that's going to give us still 12 volts, but the amp hours of all of these combined. This is the old battery here that was in it, and this looks more like just a car battery to me. It doesn't even say what the amp hours are on it. It is a deep cycle battery, which is what you want, especially for solar charging and stuff like that, but it's not really, I don't think it's really big enough for this setup the way that we're using it, because we're like living in here actively, which is kind of a lot of strain on the electrical system, especially running all night. So we're just gonna put in some more batteries. I had to get up at like 3 in the morning last night to hook up the car and run that for a while, which is kind of getting old. So we're gonna go ahead and hook all this up, and hopefully it lasts a lot longer for us and holds charge during the day, because the one thing is we have 4 solar panels on the roof, and with the other battery that was in here, the solar panels in direct sunlight would charge that battery up to 100% in probably an hour or so. If it was sitting at like 40% already, it would take maybe an hour to hit 100, and that is like, that means that the majority of the day of sunlight you're wasting your charging potential, because there's not enough storage basically in your batteries to keep storing the power that your solar panels create, which kind of means it's wasted. So hopefully with all these extra batteries, even if they're not at 100% all the time, you know, each percent is now a much greater amount of power comparative to that old battery. So hopefully we get longer run times out of this setup, and hopefully the solar charger has more room to fill, basically, is the goal with this setup. So I'm going to finish connecting this last battery up, and then I'm going to hook it to our charge controller and put that back in here. And then I guess we'll probably see you guys again in a minute when that's done to make sure everything works. Alright, so we got all these batteries in here hooked up, tied together, and tied to the charge controller. As you can see right now, they're all at 78%. Everything seems to be working. We hooked it back up to the camper, and we have power at all of our like outlets and lights, and everything is working. Only thing I had to do in the charge controller is just change from the battery setting we were on to lithium, because these batteries are a lithium battery and this is like a regular car battery would be, which is a lead acid. So I know lead acid batteries give off hydrogen gas sometimes while they're charging, which can be dangerous. So that's why the battery box on this, which has the access hatch to the outside, is vented. The hatch for it has slots in it on the outside, and that way your battery's not actually inside here, because when it's charging it can create hydrogen gas, and then if that gets near a flame like that candle up there, it's a big boom, obviously, because hydrogen gas is very flammable. And I could be wrong saying this, but I'm pretty sure that these lithium batteries don't give off hydrogen gas while they're charging. If I'm wrong, we might explode, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. So I put them under the sink because we needed the extra space. I think we'll be fine, but I guess we'll see.